Hello and welcome to Right Revelations with me, Roxanna Wright, where we talk about news events happening all over the world, which is rarely shown in the UK mainstream media. Although it's been a little while since I've made a YouTube video, I am back, and I'm back with an important one because this week we're going to be talking about climate change. Although climate change is a very frequently spoken about topic in the media, today I'm going to be talking about some recent statistics and facts which you may not have heard of, and also some upcoming goals and plans to try and slow down or stop the global rising temperature. So let's get into it. For me, growing up and even a few years ago, schools and the media taught us that climate change is something that our future selves would have to deal with, and the impacts of climate change will only be felt really way into the future. However, statistics from 2020 shows that the UK is already experiencing disruptive climate change. The year of 2020 was the third warmest year on record since 1884. Furthermore, it was the fifth wettest on record, bearing in mind that 6 out of 10 of the wettest years on record have been since 1998, and it was the 8th sunniest. In particular, the spring in the UK on 2020 was the sunniest spring on record, and the whole of the UK in 2020 was the least snowy on record. No other year has come top 10 in 3 categories, which was in 2020 wet, sunny and warm, which shows we are already experiencing dramatic effects from climate change. Experts say that in the last 30 years, the UK's temperature has risen by 0.9 degrees and it's got 6% wetter. Even though 6% and 0.9 degrees doesn't sound a lot, it is absolutely huge, and it tells us so much about climate change and the effects that we're feeling, not just as a country, but also the world. Now, because of the crazy and shocking statistics of 2020, not just in the UK but globally, the IPCC, or the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, alongside the Working Group I, will be doing one of their most comprehensive assessments on global heating since 2013. This assessment is currently ongoing. It started on the 26th of July and it finishes on the 6th of August, and the summary will be published on the 9th of August this year. So if you're interested, keep your eyes peeled. It is expected to produce a lot more explicit information on climate change and also the effects of climate change, including sea level rising, the state of the Arctic and Antarctic, extreme weather events such as floods, droughts and storms, but most importantly, the chances of holding the global rising temperature to 1.5 degrees this century. Liz Bentley, the head of the Meteorological Society, said that even if governments keep to their goal of keeping within the global rising temperature to 1.5 degrees, this still means that we'll have a 10% increase of how much water the air can hold, which shows that 0.1 degrees or 0.2 degrees increase in the global rising temperature is dramatic. It's so drastic and it can make a huge difference on our climate. There are absolutely hundreds of thousands of plans and targets and aims all over the world which are trying to tackle climate change, the impacts of it, and also to slow down the global rising temperature. However, one of the bigger events is the COP26 summit, which I did briefly mention in my last video. Basically, in 3 months' time, world leaders will be gathering in Glasgow to discuss the COP26 summit on climate change. Scotland, which is the host, has some particularly ambitious targets. They aim to have renewable energy sources to account for 50% of their energy demand. Furthermore, they want their greenhouse gas emissions to be at net zero by 2045, which is 5 years ahead of the UK target of 2050. Furthermore, 1/4 of Scotland's greenhouse gas emissions comes from transport, so they're trying to encourage more public transport use or electric cars over petrol and diesel cars. And finally, they want 21% of Scotland's land to be covered in forest over the current percentage, which is 19%. These are some very particularly ambitious goals. So if you are interested, look at this. Will be in 3 months' time. It'd be very interesting to see what comes out of the COP26 summit. But there are obviously many other plans and targets taken elsewhere worldwide. One particular thing I find very interesting is Ethan Brown, which is the founder of Beyond Meat, which is the biggest plant-based meat firm in the world. He is trying to promote and is encouraging this Pigovian tax, which is a tax on meat consumption, which will hopefully encourage people to be eating less meat, because agriculture, it has got a lot of greenhouse gas emissions, in particularly with red meat, so beef and lamb. So that is another very interesting thing which is currently going on. But obviously there are many individual things that everyone can be doing, and if we all do them together, we'll be reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, our own carbon footprints. And these include just eating less meat, like I said, particularly red meat. Furthermore, reducing our plastic consumption, especially single-use plastics such as plastic bags, and also just packaging on food, such as if you go to a market, fruit and veg most of the time are not packaged, so just going for those over the packaged fruit and veg. Furthermore, just using public transport over cars, and even just spreading awareness on it. So yeah, I hope you've taken something from this video, learned something new, and maybe just change your behaviour a little bit, because it does make such a difference. If we all do it, it will make such a massive difference. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I hope you take something from this and possibly change your behaviour just to help the environment a little bit for our own future sakes. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.